Welcome to the Marketer's Mind Podcast, a raw and unfiltered show for the serious marketer eager for a glimpse into the hardcore strategies and tactics used by A players in the world of direct response. Here's your host, Todd Brown.
What's up? What's up? We are back with another season of the Marketer's Mind podcast. Super stoked to be with you. We've got an incredible season lined up for you. We're going to be talking all about some of the most effective marketing strategies, tactics, methods in the world of direct response. And so stuff to get you more customers, grow your business, and make you more money as well. I'm sure there'll be some shenanigans and craziness going on this season. But with that, I want to jump right in and get started and talk to you a little bit about something that kind of has been on my mind lately as it relates to one of the biggest kind of misunderstandings that I see on a regular basis from marketers and entrepreneurs that are first exposed to the big marketing idea. Like, this is a misunderstanding that a lot of marketers and entrepreneurs have when they first learn about the power of a big marketing idea. And so if you've been around me for any length of time, if you've been through any of my trainings, any of my courses, books, you've heard me talk, at one of our live events or at another conference or seminar or whatnot, then no doubt you have heard me explain numerous times why developing a big marketing idea is so freaking powerful, so freaking valuable for your marketing. Like, when your marketing campaigns, when your marketing funnels are built on the back of a big marketing idea, an idea that is both emotionally compelling and intellectually interesting, an idea that your prospects view as new, unique, different, fresh, timely, right? When you've got a big marketing idea, that is how you are able to stand out and get attention in a crowded space. It's how you are able to create engagement with your market, even when you are operating in a saturated space loaded with competitors, right? And whether you recognize it or not, whether you are proactive about it or not, every marketing campaign that you put out is built on an idea. Every headline that you write has some idea behind it, right? Every VSL, video sales letter, that you create has an idea behind it. Whether you are proactive in the development of that idea, in making sure that that idea is new, unique, different, fresh, timely, emotionally compelling, and intellectually interesting, that's one thing, right? Like, that's, but regardless, every marketing campaign that you put out is built on the back of a big marketing idea. And the big marketing idea, like I said, is how today you can get attention and create engagement without having to scream a louder promise, without having to use hyped up, exaggerated copy, this hyperbolic, adjective-laden, adverb-loaded headlines and whatnot. Well, here's the thing, right? Like if you've been around me for any length of time, you've heard me say this before, right? But here's the thing that I want you to understand, that a lot of marketers and entrepreneurs, when they first learn about the power of the big marketing idea, they immediately think that what a big marketing idea is similar to a tabloid style headline. Like, they think of the National Enquirer, or they think of, one of these other crazy, the World News or whatever it is, papers that have these just ridiculous headlines. They think that's what a big idea is. They think that a big idea is simply outrageous, right? And I want to explain a couple things to you today as it relates to that. Like, look, a big marketing idea is often outrageous. It is often, right? It certainly is exciting. It's certainly compelling. It's certainly arresting. It's often contrarian, right? Of course, it certainly has those things. But where it differs from the tabloid style headline. Like, let me actually take a step back. Let me interrupt myself and take a step back and give you, right? So in kind of preparation for this podcast episode, I did a search, and you could do a search yourself on Google of the world news headlines, right, on Google, and look up some of these headlines. And I saw a couple of headlines that were just so ridiculously outrageous. I saw one that was alien Bible discovered. They worship Oprah. No joke. On the cover of this world news, it said alien Bible discovered, or Bible of aliens discovered they worship Oprah. So insane. Right? So ridiculous. And so much of that is ridiculous, right? Nobody's believing that. Well, maybe somebody is believing that. Obviously people are believing that. But we know better. And then I saw another headline, another cover that said something like, mermaid cemetery discovered. And they show an an underwater, picture, and right, we really believe that an underwater cemetery for mermaids was discovered. So ridiculous, right? Those things are outrageous. Those things are just completely outrageous. But where they differ from the big idea is that big ideas, while they are outrageous, they are feasible, right? There is a hint of believability. There's believability there, meaning that a big marketing idea is outrageous, but it's feasible. We know that, right? We know that there ain't no alien Bible that was discovered where they're worshiping Oprah. There's no alien Bible that was discovered, and certainly if there was, they ain't worshiping Oprah, right? And we know that there's no such thing as mermaids. There's no underwater cemetery it's just not feasible. It's just not believable. There's no hint of truth in it. And that's where the tabloid style headline kind of totally veers off, is that there's zero truth in that. And there's zero believability in that. Whereas a big marketing idea, while it needs to have a bit of that outrageous feel, right? And let me explain why, first and foremost, it needs to have that outrageous feel, because, today, what it takes to get somebody's attention is significant. You should never, ever underestimate what it takes to grab your prospect's attention, to keep their attention, and to turn that attention into engagement. Too many marketers, too many entrepreneurs grossly underestimate just what it takes to get and keep attention today. They think that simply throwing up a message, or simply publishing a headline, or having a web page, or putting an ad out there, that they've done their job. Just because they put an ad in front of their prospect, right, that they're gonna get attention, or that they're worthy of attention, or that they're gonna garner attention. But that's not true. You know that. We know that. Right? That it takes extraordinary, extreme measures to get attention, and it takes even more extraordinary measures to maintain that attention, to maintain that engagement. And that's where you need an idea that is a big marketing idea. A big marketing idea is what cuts through the clutter. It's what cuts through the noise. It's what stands out in a marketplace of advertisements where people are just screaming louder promises, right? All of that noise, all of that hype, all of that exaggeration that you see from most advertisements, from most of your competitors, all of that noise, we can cut through that when we've got a new, different, and unique idea, an idea that appeals to your prospect's intellect as well as to their emotion. In order to do that, right, you have to have something that is outrageous enough to make them stop what it is that they're doing right now and say, what the heck is this about? And it's got to have a level of feasibility, right? And I want to give you another example, and you can actually do a Google search of this. And I'll probably put these screenshots in the show notes at themarketersmindshow.com for you. But if you go to Google and you search Scooby Doom, not Scooby Doo, Scooby Doom, SCOOBY space Doom, DOOM, and then look under the images, you'll see a newspaper article that has a headline of "Dog blows up house with can of deodorant." This was in a newspaper, a legit newspaper, and right, you know that's like outrageous, that's crazy, that's nuts, that's cuckoo. But maybe, who knows? Maybe the dog picked up the deodorant and left it by the fireplace, and then the thing just exploded or something like that, right? And so that there is a hint of feasibility. It's outrageous, it's crazy, it's attention grabbing, but it's possible, it's feasible. Whereas an alien Bible worshiping Oprah ain't feasible, right? A mermaid cemetery ain't feasible. And so that is the thing that I want you to understand, that I don't want you to think that a big marketing idea is simply outrageous like the tabloids. No, the tabloids are garbage, right? They're great in terms of in terms of the structure, in terms of what they're trying to do, right? But they're not feasible. They're not believable. Much more so the world news rather than the National Enquirer. The National Enquirer is nowhere near as ridiculous as the world news. The National Enquirer is kind of in between the big marketing idea and the mermaid cemetery gig. But the thing that I want you to understand is that we are looking for outrageous, but we're looking for believable. So your idea needs to be big enough where it is feasible. And that's where you've got to, when you're doing your research, when you're looking and you're developing your big ideas, you got to start to ask yourself, is this something that is believable, like by my prospect, or is this just so big, so outrageous, so ridiculous that they're not going to believe it, right? And you've got to remember that just because something is true doesn't mean it's believable, and just because something is believable doesn't mean it is true. But I just wanted to make sure that you didn't get caught up in this misunderstanding that we're not talking about these absurd, ridiculous, outrageous, like complete nightmare headlines like you find in something like the world news. We are talking about something outrageous. We are talking about something that is a big enough idea, is a different enough idea, is a unique enough idea, is a compelling enough idea to stand out in a noisy marketplace and grab your prospect's attention. But it's got to be feasible. It's got to be something that they say, maybe this could be true. This could have happened. If some weird coming together of events, this could have happened. And so there you go. I just wanted to make sure that you understood that you got that point. If you want to learn more about this, obviously I recommend that you grab a copy of my book if you haven't already. It is bigmarketingideabook.com. It's just a few bucks and you'll love it. It goes into detail on this. That is it for me for today's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you got value from this, if you dig this, go ahead and give us a review on iTunes. I don't even know how all that works. I just hope that you do, and you can give us a review and post a comment and let other peeps know. But I'm jacked to be back with you. I'll see you in the next episode, and be well until then.